coming off the goddamn pick and roll there, boy.
What's up, folks? It is AJ Millie Rock here, back again with a One Piece card game live commentary video from my locals. Like I said last week, we've had to split this locals up into 2 videos. So now you're going to get games 3 and 4 of my locals is playing blue-black Sakazuki. Very cool deck. Very happy with how I played these next 2 games as well. So please do stay tuned in. Thank you for watching, and on with the games. So now we are looking at game 3, which is against GP Luffy. Actually a pretty scary deck in my opinion for Sakazuki, purely because of the stage. The stage is nuts. I choose to go second. I want to put down the Kuzan and just annihilate any Sanji Puddings that come down, and luckily I find it off that Shigi. Jan's 1 and 3 dawn turns here are quite slow. There's no stages coming down, no searchers coming down, and you'll find that there's actually quite a few coming down in life. There's a purple Nami hits at some point, but yeah, the Kuzan comes down on my side on my 4 dawn turn. He ramps off the Gatling after I swing in, which is an interesting play. It lets him do something quite cool here. So he's gonna initially think he wants to just radio knife the Kuzan here, but what he's going to realize is with the Sanji Pudding in his hand, and I let him do this play because obviously I want my opponents to do the best play possible to get the better testing out of the game, right? So like I'm going to let him just take that radio knife back, play out the Sanji Pudding, restand 2, re-ramp the 1, and then he's going to play the radio knife, and then he's got a Sanji Pudding on his board on top of being able to clear the Kuzan, which is big for him. Like that's a really strong play. But on this turn, I just have enough to clear. Like I swing the 5 into the GP, reduce the 1, right? Then I go Hina Brook and just clear Sanji Pudding, which is pretty strong as well. He's now on the back foot a little bit. He plays down a 4-cost Zoro to get Sanji Pudding, play that out again. I keep having to take swings because I have a lot of 1Ks in hand and they're good cards. I don't want to get rid of them because they just have power in later turns. Regardless, I would have liked to have maybe countered that swing there that I took. Either way, I'm able to find some stability. You'll see in a moment. I've got quite a lot of Rebecca's in hand that'll be played later on in the game. So I go to Shigi. I must have been looking for cost reduction there off the Hina just to get rid of that Sanji Pudding as soon as possible. I swing in a 6 and that gets the Nami Searcher out. He finds another Sanji Pudding. I'm like, sure, whatever. We're gonna then go Rebecca, play out another Hina, completely demolish the cost of that Sanji Pudding, and then Hound Blaze, put it on my leader, swing a Clean It into life, and he's gonna take that as well, which is good. Like I'm getting a lot of card out of his life, which makes the Pudding in my hand just more effectively again, because he's going to hoard a lot too. Again, GP as a deck holds like the entire life plus draws in their hand until the last swing of the game basically. So this Pudding's going to put in a lot of work, as you'll see, but he gets another Sanji Pudding down. I also cleared the Nami on the turn as well, which was quite good. It could have been an issue if he just attaches Dawn, swings with it, which I've seen Jan do before to go for games. It's always an option, right? You generate so much Dawn off of GP that you can kind of afford to do that. But this Sanji Pudding comes down, he's going to swing 6 into the Brook, and I'm inclined to let it go because, again, a lot of Rebecca's in hand. I can very easily put that guy back out on board. He plays out a green Nami Searcher, thinking about if he actually does want to do the search. He does this all the time. He's very like hesitant to do his plays for Jan. Yeah, he's gonna just look at his own hand again before he grabs a new Sohachi. I imagine, I don't even know what could have been in the search that made him think about it other than maybe rush Luffy there as well, but maybe he felt like he needed the 2k counter. But he finds stage now finally, and the Sanji Pudding goes up to a 7 cost, which is at this point in the game just not as strong anymore, sadly, because now I have enough setup in my trash to where a Tempest Kick completely invalidates that card, and you'll see this turn that comes down. So we are gonna, I don't know what the exact play is here. I think I'm just mathing out how much Dawn a certain route of play is going to take with the Rebecca's and the Tempest Kicks. So I think what I realize now, I had to brand new to have enough in trash to make the Tempest Kick minus effect live. Now that I've done the brand new and I've done the Sakazuki effect, I should now have 9 in trash. I also drew an Aminuma or Kumo sword off of that as well, which is just crazy. Like it's gonna let me demolish the board now. I was originally just going for the Sanji Pudding, now that I've drawn that 2-cost event, I get to go for everything. And you'll see here, I'm going to bring back a Hina by playing over a Hina. Another techie play that you can do with this deck. I love that you can do these like pretty high skill plays and just like manipulate your board, get the resources you need, and then just replay them out. Like it's always quite fun figuring out like the smarter plays you can do with Sakazuki. And now my board is like 2 blockers and 2 Hinas, which will swing in for a hefty enough amount. I don't know what his hand is at this point, but given the fact that I've cleared 3 Sanji puddings so far, I just don't think he has the plays this turn to really address my board. So he's just going to deliberate for a second here, just adjust his Dawn a bit. So he's going to go for the 2-cost Nami Searcher, picks up another Usohachi, more counter. I'm kind of nodding to myself like, oh, that's going back in the deck. And then with 4 Dawn, he goes 4-cost Green Zoro to rest my Rebecca, swings the Nami Searcher into that, buffs up his Zoro, and does the leader effect, swing into a Hina with 7k, which he does, but I have a blocker and enough counter, so I'm just big chilling at this point. I do the swing into the Nami Searcher, I look at his hand size, and it's just absolutely massive. Pudding comes down and he's just going to do big old shuffle into the deck. I remember now, I shuffle myself, give him the deck, he draws 5, he starts laughing like, oh, his hand is sick now, and I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know. Am I cooked? Like, my concern is just Giant. That's my biggest concern right now, is that next turn he'll have the Giant. Because this turn, I'm not going to do really enough to go for a game, and I don't plan to. I just want to whittle down his hand, which effectively I can. I get like a 1k out, and I think he's going to counter it with the 2k there as well. So I'm going to finish the turn off, just Rebecca, grab more counter back, put a Brook on board. I've got like 4 relevant cards to swing with. He's going to go for the last ditch play of just Rush Luffy, which had I not added back that T-Bone off the Rebecca would have been quite a debilitating card, but I just take the life. I know I have enough counter already to counter out of the 8, and I just use my whole hand. Yeah, 9k exact in my hand with counter, and that clears up the game. We are in the game for the final round against Cameron on Silver's Rayleigh, which is a good matchup for Sakazuki. It is a red deck. Sakazuki farms red decks because it just does the red deck shtick but better by having like real removal options for their bodies on board. And it would be like a super easy matchup when I see Brook, but you'll find out as this game goes on, Brook is a myth. I don't see him for ages. I just do not see the card, so I have to get a bit more creative with how I deal with this matchup, and it kind of gets to the wire a bit, probably more than it should have. Yeah, early turns are pretty standard. We're both just playing a lot of searchers out. My brand new whiffs, I think. Oh no, it didn't whiff. I think I must have got a Kuzan off of it, or a Tashigi, I can't remember. But yeah, he's gonna buff his buggy and then swing 6 with the Rayleigh. I intended to take one of the swings, I just wanted to see more cards, which taking like the early swings is risky, but like I said, like more card advantage the better. I drop a Kuzan because I just don't have the removal options to deal with the Boa. I would have Hound Blazed it instantly because that card actually gets a lot of advantage in the long run. You can swing and then like buff up something else the same turn. It's just diabolical. And I'm kind of taking note as well, he has 2 of the unblockable event now in his hand, and you'll see later on this game he has a very interesting use for that card going into the next few turns. I have to take the 7 off the Zoro Rush just because I genuinely don't have counter. I'm getting rid of 10 cost Kuzans here just to get to the better cards in my deck, right? And I still do not have a goddamn Brook to play out. So now I'm deciding, I'm thinking to myself, I don't think he's gonna let the Zoro go. So in my mind, I'm thinking I need to, instead of swinging into it, I need to cost reduce and Hound Blaze it. So that's what I do. He'll take the first life and he takes the second. Again, he's like a 5 life leader. He's very happy to take these early swings because he'll want that hand size. Rayleigh really needs to maintain a healthy hand just to have the requirements of, you know, Luffy and a target and 2 events and whatever other optional like events you want to have that give you access to more crazy plays. Like you want to have the mold guns, you want to have the unblockable event, of course, you want to have observation hacky to find your rush characters. There's a lot of options you want to keep open as a Rayleigh player. It's very similar to Sakazuki in that sense. You want to keep hand size, you want to keep those options. And now you'll see now he's getting quite aggressive with his unblockable events. He's starting to use them on these earlier turns because he's seen now I think a third, and he sees a game plan for himself where if I don't have enough counter next turn, it's looking kind of rough. Now, luckily, I've got the Tempest Kick here, which is going to reduce the Luffy down. That should allow me to Hound Blaze that, deal some more damage, put Cameron on a bit more of a critical game state. I still am considering like that unblockable event will be an issue, but I feel fine knowing that at least the only thing that's really going to swing for a significant amount is that Rayleigh, and the rest of the board is a myth. So yeah, I'm going to bottom deck the Luffy, and I've not swung with the Kuzan much this game. I actually don't really want to swing his life, right? You'll see here, this is interesting. So he must have read the pudding was coming, and he just triggers the Mulgun. I don't know why necessarily, because I think it still has value in the deck, like as something to search later on, more so than it had value being triggered here to stop the Kuzan attacking, because I never intended to attack with Kuzan. And that's purely because I'm fully aware of the fact that Rayleigh wants more cards in hand. I'm giving him more cards by swinging. But unfortunately, I do eventually have to start swinging, right? I have to put him at a level where I can at least go for a game eventually, and I'm not just fighting board the entire time. So he's going to Obs Haki for an unblockable event again. He does find another. So that was also kind of the goal I want to put in, to like mess up his deck enough to where all the unblockable events were missing, and he wouldn't be able to do that this turn. Lo and behold, he did find it. Now he's putting down a Boa and finding Supreme King Haki, which is a concern now. Like, I'm thinking, oh, lethal's going to be hard. If I'm in a position where I'm forced to lethal, he's going to now read the Boa's probably cooked if it stays on board. So he's going to put the Dawn onto the Shaki by trashing it. And then, thankfully, I have enough counter to get out of the Rayleigh swing. I think he's deliberating where the Shaki swing's going, puts it in the brand new, and I just let it go, because I'll trade with the pudding. Like, the pudding will get rid of that body like immediately. Like, even like the first action is just swinging with it. Now I've got my 10 Dawn. I have a lot that I can do here. I finally find the Brook off of a whiff off of brand new, but that's fine. I have Rebecca's in hand. Like, it's going to be back on the board in no time, which is great for me. I'm just happy to actually see it finally, because now these one-cost searchers that are going to come out aren't so much of a concern for me. At this point, I'm doing a big swing that I want him to take, because now my board with the pudding, Brook, Saka, his hand is low enough where there is a line for game. But you'll see, I guarantee game here. So this last turn from Cameron, I think he even said after the fact, it felt a little bit questionable, because he's gonna Nami search first and then buggy search. He's gonna get unblockable event again off of that. And what he does now, he has a hand that's one Luffy and a searcher. He's gonna do that first. He's just thinking about it for a second here. So the Luffy comes down, reveal to put down the Boa, and the Boa is going to grab another Luffy, I believe. So now that he has the second Luffy, I imagine that he grabbed it because nothing else that was revealed was very helpful. But I honestly thought he would keep it in hand as counter. And what he does instead is he uses the last 4 Dawn and just puts it all in on the Luffy play out Sanji, which makes no sense to me. I think he needed to do the unblockable event and clear the pudding, or at the very least attempt to swing even without the unblockable event, because this board, if I don't end the game right now, even before he played down the second Luffy, it was a rough board to deal with, right? And I was at a point in the game where I was running out of cards to actually address it. So it would have been better if I just had to deal with like the 4 Dawn active still, or however many Dawn active. I think it would have been better for Cameron to just like swan heavy with the Rayleigh, leave 2 Dawn active, make me scared of color of Supreme King, and then would get out of lethal at that point. But instead, he goes super wide, and as a result, he's no Dawn up. He's got 3 cards in hand at the end. I feel pretty confident that I've just got game. I also I'd misplay a little bit in this final turn, which would have mattered if his last life was a 2k, because I do Tempest Kick. I actually don't know why I did it on reflection, but I do that and I just go through more cards, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta go for game this turn. So I just swing a clean 778. That does the job, and the game ends. So yeah, we went X1 at locals. So that is it for this week's One Piece card game commentary. I want to leave you guys with a little bit of a discussion topic, perhaps. I want to know your thoughts on PRB2 Best Volume 2. What did you think of that set? To be honest, I enjoyed opening it a lot. That being said, I think the set design was so questionable. I think like the distribution of those rares in the set was crazy. I don't know why anyone is thinking, yeah, let me spend £4 on a Zoro 2k. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pay £4 for it. Some of these mandem, they want to do that, but it's not me, bro. It's not me. And I see this super rare list, right? And I see OP10 cards in that list. Why? Who was possessed at Bandai to put an OP10 card in this set? Makes no sense to me. And look, I had this revelation when I pulled my 6th Kairos. I fucking bent the fucker. I was just like, I am sick of this dickhead. I'll put the picture on the screen too. You can see it for yourself. I don't understand why he's in the set. And I love Usopp, don't get me wrong. Fun deck. But why the fuck is that guy in the set? Why is the yellow kid in the set? I don't know why the 3-cost Tashigi's in the set either. And I understand that card became a little bit expensive. I completely understand that. But OP10 is still on the market. You can still buy those packs. Maybe not in America, RIP Bozos, but like, it's there, like you can buy that set. So I don't understand why Tashigi isn't even in the set at all. If you really wanted to reprint it, put it in the learner decks, you know, give it to like the new players. But like me personally, I do not understand it being in this set. And instead, what? We're pulling 3 Marcos a case, not even a full play set. Come on, man. Like, come on. I don't understand it. That being said, I mean, my pulls were goated. Pulled 2 SPs, got the Rebecca and the Pudding. I'm just goated like that. I pulled a gold Chopper Dawn the other day. Yeah, like I have had fun with the set, but I'm not just gonna glaze Bandai at the same time. I think, you know, there's issues with how the set was designed that need to be addressed going forward when they do the inevitable PRB3. Which will happen. Like, these sets sell hotcakes. When they do PRBO3, I just hope that they make it set full of binders. That's it. So yeah, with that discussion in mind, let me know what you guys think of the games, of PRBO2, what you think of anything. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Leave a like if you want, subscribe to the chisel. You know the vibes. Peace out. It's been AJ Millie Rock. I'll see you on the Grand Line.
Bro, why the fuck would you guys do this shit to me? Bro, you can't have shit nice and AC. I swear to God, man, you can't have shit nice and AC.